Hello. So here we are again, and tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a review on a movie that has to do with Thanksgiving, since Thanksgiving is just right around the corner. The name of the movie is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's got two people in it that we will talk about, and also we're going to talk about one of the actors in it that had quite a few life struggles afterwards. So my co-host Melinda is with us. Hi, Melinda.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I love having you. Okay, so Melinda is like an expert at this movie. Tell us why.
I don't know if I'm necessarily an expert, but I love this movie. I saw it probably for the first time maybe 10 years back. My father-in-law bought it for me. And I just went looking for, movies to watch around Thanksgiving. Did that popped up, and I love Steve Martin. He's one of my favorite actors, and I'm just like, this is perfect. And it ended up being just a movie I just was drawn to. So I watch it the moment summer's done and my fall decorations go up, and I watch it right up until Thanksgiving.
So you watch it every year?
Every year. Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple times every year.
So obviously I watched it, or I wouldn't be able to talk about it either. What do you think that Steve Martin is like way funnier now than he was then?
I don't know. Most of the stuff that I've watched with him in it has been like in the 80s. Some of the, I think he had one where he played a father that had in the movie, it may have been Bonnie Hunt with him. They had like a bunch of kids, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yep.
I liked him in that one. But I like the older stuff.
Yeah. So do you like stupid funny?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll admit that.
So let's I'm gonna go ahead and let you like describe parts of the movie. What made you like it so much?
Okay. Well, I mean, just starting out, Steve Martin's character, his name is Neil Page in the movie. He's very straightforward, almost seems like by the book. And like he's got the way his life is going, and that's it. And I'm kind of the same way. Just in my life, I like having control.
Right.
I don't like letting anybody else doing, so you start out seeing him, in the movie where you can tell that, he has to have things in control in his way. And he has to get out of this business meeting and hop a plane to get home in time for Thanksgiving. And for anybody who's ever traveled by plane, I've never, but I've heard stories where the weather can cause you issues, and that's exactly what happens here. He just barely makes it to the airport in time for them to cancel his flight.
Poor guy.
I know, it's and then there's that extra added stress of not just having your flight canceled, but you want to get home to your family. And so then in comes John Candy's character, which is Del Griffith. And he's this lovable but very obnoxious person who ends up having an impact. They battle like it literally says, the planes, the trains, and the automobiles. It is literally how they navigate their way home. If they can't, they get on a plane, but then they get stuck in Wichita.
Cars. I wonder why they didn't talk about the car.
Yeah, which is
a big deal.
Yes, exactly. But I guess automobiles would cover that,
Yeah.
But they have, it's just like this hilarious yet stressful way of trying to get home to Chicago. And it teaches Steve Martin's character along the way how to kind of, let go of the reins a little bit, and it makes him I feel like it makes him a better person. They go through all this stuff, and he ends up coming out of it with a friend that you wouldn't even think at the beginning that these two would end up being.
So you just kind of gave what you think the movie was actually meant for us to understand. And mine's pretty close. Just short. I just think that it teaches us not to judge immediately, because that's what Steve Martin did in this movie, was he judged him. I will not Okay, so I'm way too old to be on a period. Excuse me for too much information, but I am just an emotional person, whether it's somebody getting like Family Feud and they win a bunch of money, I cry.
Right.
I'm happy for him.
Right.
But in this movie, when he was yelling and belittling,
Mhm.
what was John's name in the movie?
Dell.
Dell, yeah.
Dell Griffith. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I watched him from arguing back with him and saying stuff to listening to what was being said and just get so hurt. And
Yeah.
tears just came down my eyes.
They did that scene really well.
They did.
I mean, and you look at John Candy's face in that, and it's like, oh my gosh. But what I love about his character, though, is that he didn't bail. You know, he got his feelings hurt, but he's like, you know what? The next day, there they were as a team trying to get here and there. Like he took it with stride and just continued to be himself. And
which was, yeah.
it would be a difficult person to chill with, that's for sure.
So the bedroom scene, I think, was probably one of the funniest to me to begin with.
Yes.
So in that part, I'll just tell a little bit about that. But so they're stranded. So they had started out driving, right? They got a rental car. Well, that was how it all started, was because Steve couldn't, his rental car wasn't there. And that's happened to me. Just want you to know.
Yeah.
Or they've been closed and they just leaving me a key with my name on it. And I have no idea where to get the car.
Right.
And I spend hours walking around the outside of the airport trying to find this car that I've never heard of before.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, kind of like that. But so he gets pretty mad at the girl that's on the phone chatting away.
That is one of my favorite scenes. There's a few, but literally, the poor dude gets, like he says, stranded out in the middle of nowhere. And of course, I'm paraphrasing because I'm not dropping that many F-bombs in one sentence. But he was, he was so sick of it as it was. And then finally he gets to where he thinks his car is, and this bus leaves him, and he has to walk like miles back, and his shoes are destroyed. Like he's fallen down this snow slope by the highway. Oh my gosh. Then he finally gets up there and she's gabbing away to whoever she's talking about Turkey Day. And she's like, sorry, we can't help you. You tore up your rental agreement, so you're out of luck. And it just did not sit well with him. The stress was just, I think, too much at that point, and that was one of his breaking points in the movie.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, because I'm looking something up because I saw it earlier. But there's actually, how many times did he say the word fuck in this movie?
Oh yeah. And I think that's the only scene. I could be wrong.
Well, he said it a lot in that scene.
Yeah, I mean, it literally, like, if you've ever been just so bad that you just felt like you had to cuss, like, that is the perfect scene for you, because it's like he was just getting out all that frustration. And I love her facial expression. Like, you can tell she's dealt with this before. And she's like, she's kind of scratching her head with that pencil, like, may I have your rental agreement? He's like, I threw it away.
Oh, I liked it. Then she said, then you're.
Yeah, she's like, oh Lord. He's like, oh, what? You're fucked. And I'm just like, oh my gosh,
she got him back.
Right back at him. Yep. Yeah, I can understand that type of stress though. It's like where you just gotta, the poor person next to you is the unfortunate recipient of that rage and anger.
Okay. Keep talking about it. Keep talking about, like.
Okay, but you know what I find, even just, it makes me giggle, but I love it, is in comes Dell to save the day. He got a rental car, which then leads into the hilarious scene of them flying down the highway and going the wrong way, and it just, like, if anything, rough or bad is going to happen, it's happening to them. Like any potential issue that could arise, these poor guys are dealing with it. But when they're going down that highway and you see those two semis and they're just wedged in between it and keep going, and Steve Martin looks over and he's like, John Candy's in the devil get up. Like you could just tell at that point he was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like he just sees it as like the devil.
Yeah, and this is after he had been in that car for such a long time sleeping, and he's driving and doing all that stuff and going all over the road, and
yeah,
and the other guy's just
yeah, right.
And I'm like, there's no way I would wake up like the first time he swerved.
Oh yeah, he gets that jacket hook caught behind there, and oh man,
18 times he said the word.
That doesn't surprise me. It's just
18 times.
The movie's funny, but that part is like just a major comic relief for anybody who's probably gone through that before.
Right,
it's like, that's what I wanted to do, but I
didn't, right?
18 times. Oh my gosh.
So anyway, they, throughout the movie, they go through all their different struggles.
Yes. Struggles is a good word.
Let's see. They stole the car, right? They stole the car. The second one. The one that got burned.
No, well, what had happened is they actually switched credit cards when they were in Wichita getting that hotel room. So
now I thought he stole it.
No, it got switched. So he had like the Diners Club card,
right?
And then the other one was like I can't remember what the name of the other was, but it got switched. So what had happened is, John Candy's character went ahead and rented a car under.
But he knew.
He knew. So I mean, you could classify it as stealing. He's like, well, I was going to send you a payment, but you didn't give me a chance to,
right?
Find out where your address was, and I was going to pay with interest. And then that's when Steve Martin finds out that he's responsible for the
whole car.
And then he yes, and then he gives him a good punch in the gut, and the poor man is like.
But then Steve Martin drives the burnt up car, his hands burning. I was just like, what?
Yeah, so between after they go through the semi and the sides are all scratched up and dead and the mirrors are gone, and then it catches fire, which you then find out that his wallet was in the glove compartment. Right. So now everything's burnt up.
Now they have nothing.
Any cash, they have nothing. So the top's off, and he's like, he's still getting home. So he's driving down the road, and they get pulled over, and the cop's like, do you think this vehicle is fit for being highway travel? They're like, it's not pretty to look at, but because they just want to get home, so they're gonna drive anything they can.
Yeah, that was funny because he was like, but he got pulled over for speeding, and he's like, well, the speedometer doesn't work.
Yeah.
What else doesn't work? Like nothing works besides the radio and the engine, obviously.
I know, right?
That's the car inside is sizzling.
Yeah, that was a funny part for me too, where John Candy was like, I will admit that sounds about right on my speeding. He's like, but oddly enough, the radio works. Just like you had that little bit of comic relief to that. What would be a serious situation would probably get someone thrown in jail outside of the movie,
Right.
Yeah.
So then the car gets towed away, and then they have to stay in a hotel, and Steve Martin's role was he wanted nothing more to do with this crazy guy. And so he's like, you're on your own. So he showed burnt credit cards and all this kind of stuff, but he ended up, I believe he had some cash and he used a watch.
Yeah, $16 and a Rolex or something along those lines.
It was a more expensive watch.
Right.
And he got a room, and he just left John Candy just whatever. And I felt really sorry for him then, because that's the first time he didn't get to finagle his way into anything, because he's been finagling all through this movie, getting his ways and whatever. So he didn't get his way. So then he's in the burnt up automobile freezing cold, and he's talking to, I thought, I didn't get it until later, but his
Yeah.
wife.
Yes.
But not talking on a phone, just talking to her. I thought he was trying to like stay warm.
Right. Just kind of, you sometimes talk to yourself, or like,
but
what you would say to
started
someone.
freezing, and if you fall asleep when you're freezing, you die.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he was doing, because he was so cold. And
I never thought of it like that.
yeah, because that's so anyway, so you can go ahead and go into the part where Steve Martin wakes up, or he wasn't asleep, he's just getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah, so he's getting ready to go to bed, and this is where you kind of see it. You're already seeing a change in his character. I mean, he bunks up in a hotel room
Occasionally.
Yes, he still has, he's still himself, but there's a little changes. But this one here, I think, was a big turning point in the movie, because he was so mad, and everything that had happened was mostly because something Dell had done. And he's like, you're gonna freeze to death out there, and brings him inside the hotel room, and they drink out of the mini bar and eat like the peanuts or whatever, and they just have a good time. And that, I think, was like a turning point in the movie, where you could
thankfully
see
there was 2 beds.
Yes, as opposed to the other one where they woke up cuddling with each other.
And touching things.
Yeah. It's funny, I've got the DVD right here, and it says at the top, "Those aren't pillows edition."
Yeah.
He's like, "Where's your other hand?" He's like, "Between 2 pillows." And then he's like, "Those aren't pillows."
My God.
And they freak out,
Both of
them. Yeah. So the dynamic has then changed.
Right.
They're no longer, I feel like it's no longer just trying to get one person home. They're both trying to reach the destination, which is Chicago.
Right.
And not just getting Neil's character home, but getting Dell there too.
Right. And then what didn't show a lot, but is important too, is that they did show parts where his family was waiting and wanting him home, and his daughter was doing a performance that he was gonna obviously end up missing. So
the Thanksgiving,
that was a very small part, in the background, but because most of it was the traveling to get home.
Right. Yeah. And you hear, he calls his wife when he gets stuck in Wichita, and it's like, because of weather, and, and he's like, "I'm just not going to make it in." And then, you see the daughter, and she's got her Thanksgiving Thanksgiving performance with school,
right.
and he's missing that, and he talks to Dell about that, which is how they kind of brings up the family dynamic, where you find out that Dell has a wife named Marie,
right,
and which is who he was talking to, or about,
but
having
she's passed away.
Yes, and you don't find that out till
the end.
Near the end of the movie,
right,
after they finally do reach Chicago. Yeah.
Right.
And Steve Martin's character starts.
Wasn't that when they were doing like a telling the truth thing?
Well, no, when they were doing the hotel, where they were, drinking the mini bar stuff, and they were just kind of back and forth and talking about, their wives and their families, and and he's like, "I haven't been home in years, and I know Bree, she understands I'm on the road." Like, you hear him talk about it like she's in the present, like she's actually there.
Right.
And that could be just him not maybe coming to terms with the fact that his wife has passed. So when you get to Chicago and they go their separate ways, or you think Dell is going to go their separate ways, Steve Martin's character starts putting the things together that he's saying, where, like, "I haven't been home in years," and talking about Marie, and it kind of makes him think. So instead of going home, he circles back around and finds John Candy's character sitting there, and he finally admits that his wife Marie has been dead for 8 years.
Right.
And it kind of just confirmed what, he was kind of like, what, putting everything
Things
together.
Weren't making sense, right?
No. And this then leads up to what is probably one of my most favorite endings of any movie I've ever seen. I love the ending of this movie.
So
it
tell us.
Gets me emotional. Oh, okay. So if I get like teary-eyed, it's because I don't know. It's just an ending. I don't know. Everybody could look at it as like an ending, but it just, so you see in the next scene after the train depot scene, where they're walking up the street carrying that big heavy chest that,
Burned.
yeah, that Dell's been carried around, which oddly enough, when he's at the beginning of the movie, when Steve Martin's character is chasing Kevin Bacon's character in this on opposite sides of the street, he trips and falls over that, and you look, and it's that
Right.
it's still so he's been causing a problem since the beginning of the movie, and he didn't even realize it,
Right.
But so they're walking up, and you can see them approaching Steve Martin's home. And it's this beautiful, nice family home. And, Dell's, he's like, well, I'll just stay for a minute. And, and Steve Martin's character is just like, well, just come on. And, he rings the doorbell, and the kid answers, and they're, very excited that, their dad's home and the family's all there. Yep. And then, he's introducing, Dell to everyone, but then his wife appears at the top of the stairs. She comes down, and it plays, Every Time You Go Away by Paul Young, which I love that song.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. So, she comes down, and, she's like, nice to meet you, Mr. Griffith. And they just, her and Steve Martin's character, they hug and they give each other a kiss, and just the music. And then it just goes to John Candy's character, and he's just holding his hat, and you could just tell he was just so happy. But you almost, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, I love it. I don't know if it's a combination of music and just how well the acting is, but it's such a great ending to what is a very stressful and insane journey home that took way too many days to even get there. But, then it's just nice because you see that total transformation of Steve Martin's character at the end, where he invites Stella into his home. And it's not like, just come and say hi and you're gone. No, it's like, come on, get in here. You're officially part of this.
Right.
I love it.
I think, yeah. So it is a really good Thanksgiving movie to watch and make us all think about how important friends and family are.
Yes.
So,
the unlikely friends you never think are going to end up in your life.
End up being in your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we recommend that movie. And did we look up? So I rented it on Prime Video. I believe IMBD has it too.
Yeah.
Netflix does not.
No, you can buy it on Vudu, which is what I did. I bought it on Vudu.
And I bought it on Prime Video, and because it was only $5.99, and like every movie, I always have to watch it several times because I'm too busy to watch it for the full thing. But that one I actually did.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, you can get it on Vudu. Well, okay, a few years back, my husband bought it on Vudu because I was always trying to find my DVD that always ends up getting stashed somewhere and gets separated from all my movies. So I like having the digital, but I also like having the disc because I like relaxing on the couch and watching on the big screen. And my kids are just like, really, again? I can't help it. I love it.
Do you have another TV in the house they can go watch?
Oh yeah, but they're gonna fight me every chance they get for that big TV.
Yeah.
In most cases, I'll if it's still early on into it or if it's closer to the end, I'll get on my computer if I need to. But I try to watch it when they're not home because I do tend to burn them out on my favorites. And this is one of my top 10 favorites. So I have a little bit of mercy every now and then, but in most cases, I was like, nope, sorry about your bad luck. Upstairs you go to your room. Okay,
so let's talk about John Candy, sorry, after the movie and what was going on in his life. So we know that he ended his life not by killing himself, but he died at 43. So I think we said March 4th, 1994.
Yes, March 4th, 1994. And this movie came out in 87, which was in a part where he was still big into movies at that point. He had Uncle Buck, and he had a earlier role in Stripes. So he was in a lot of movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and so we had to do some digging to find out some stuff. And so you can go ahead and say what you found out, and I've got some stuff written down. Did not get written down where we got our information though.
Yeah, we'll have to get on the phones and make sure we
I'll do
get
that.
on the information.
Do you remember what you looked up?
Yeah, I mean, I looked up a few things, like I looked up after you and I had talked and you told me that he had a daughter, I looked up her. Her name is Jennifer Candy and she is 39. She was 14.
She was 14 when he passed.
Away, and he's got a son, Christopher, who was 9 when he passed away. So he had young kids, aside from just passing away at a very young age due to a heart attack. He dealt with his demons. He dealt with obesity. It said during a lot of his adult life. He was a heavy smoker, and there was some reported drug use as well, which probably had an impact on having his heart attack.
So I think they also said he was a heavy smoker.
Yes.
And so if you put smoking, and I believe they said that he had hereditary, like the family had heart problems.
Yeah, I had read that his dad and his grandpa both had passed away of heart attacks.
Right. So it's hereditary, number one. And then you put smoking on top of it, which is going to be bad on your heart. Well, on a lot of things, but it is bad on your heart. Obesity is bad on your heart. And he struggled with that most of his life, is what I read.
Yeah, it said, I believe this was on the canoe.com website. What was her name?
Is it Canoe like
K-N? Yeah, K-N-O-E. It said as, his career kind of slumped. It said that that at that point when he was kind of near I don't want to say near the tail end of making movies, because I don't think he was at the tail end of making movies, but in the early 90s, it did say that he had, tried to live a healthier life. He, he tried to give up smoking. I don't think he did succeed on that. I'm not 100% sure, but, he knew, it sounds like he knew that, the odds were kind of stacked against him and he wanted to do what he could. And that alone just had to be just scary for him. And, I mean, you go from, being, a big movie star. And, I don't know if I've ever really heard anybody, when you talk about, any movies that he's been like Uncle Buck or Planes, Trains and Automobiles, like he has such lovable characters, but I feel like it was, for me, like, I think that's probably how he was in person. Like, I feel like I don't really have a lot of people who are like, oh, I didn't like his movies or I don't like him as an actor. He just came off as just this lovable, person.
I know he and Steve Martin were not friends when they filmed that movie and became fast friends and forever friends after that until he passed.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's got his wife, Rosemary Hober. Was that what it was?
Hober, Hobor, I think. Yeah.
And so what we found about her wasn't a whole lot. She never remarried. She did have a college background. She was from Canada. She wasn't a limelight person. It said she was very caring and kind, and she decided to continue to raise her children on her own when he passed away. So they had 2 children, a daughter, Rosemary, and I think she was 14 at the time that he passed.
Jennifer. Well, yeah, Jennifer is the daughter. Yeah, Rosemary, which was his wife.
His wife is Rosemary. Yeah. Jennifer, and then Christopher was the son. And you said he was 9?
Yes.
And so we looked him up, and he's, I don't know, we got 2 different stories, but I looked him up on Instagram, and the picture was the same of the picture we found of him on.
I just did a Google search is what I did.
I think it was on Wikipedia or something like
Okay.
that. But yeah, it was the same person. And on there, he's an author and a writer, and also does reviews on movies and stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I never did find the movies. I should probably try to do that.
Well, I know one thing that I did read about his wife is that even though she stays very private, that, you know, it did mention that his children were following in his footsteps. So she does come out and supports them during those times. So she doesn't stay, you know, completely off the grid, but it's nice that she is out there supporting, you know, her children, even though that's not, you know, like she never was an actress. She didn't do any movies or anything like that. That just wasn't her gig. And so yeah, I think she did a great job, all things considered. You know, she's got 2 kids that seem to be, you know, doing good in life, and his daughter looks exactly like him. Like if you ever, you know, go to the movie
Yes,
with his family, I mean,
it
she
was
is literally
crazy.
just, yeah, exactly like him. Like if you just threw longer blonde hair on him, like shoulder
Right,
length blonde hair, it's,
right.
I mean, she looks just like him.
And Christopher had his same eyes.
Yeah, I
So
think we agreed on that.
gee, I just read on today.com that this past March, they actually, okay, so Jennifer was 41 and Chris is 36, just this past
Okay.
March. Honored their father in a touching post on social media. And they paid tribute, saying, "Missing you always." Let's see. I guess they just did it in post on social media. Okay. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
there's one. 2,819 likes. So they did these really cute family pictures that were in black
Oh,
and white and set it
that's
up on a
awesome.
really pretty table.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
wonder if that was, so how many years would have that been if it was that kind of an anniversary?
Well, in 94 to now was what? It's gonna make me do my math. So 83 for me, and I'm gonna be 39. So yeah, take another 10 off of that, 20 some odd years,
I wonder if
right?
it
Does that
was
sound
like
right?
20. I wonder if it was 25. Usually people do it like at a certain number.
Right. Yeah, let me see here.
I mean,
It's
we do a celebration of my brother's life every year.
well, you know, hey, if that's what you want to do, I say go for it. So
It's
it
not, you
was
know
this
what,
year, you
though?
said?
It's gotten what? Yeah, March
It's
4th,
20,
2021.
27 years ago.
Huh.
So maybe it was just, you know, they were just like, you know what, we're just gonna do this.
Maybe they were
And,
just missing him.
oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you think? Do we have
I
another movie? Do we have a movie that we should suggest for Christmas?
oh, I mean, are we doing your holiday classics? Are we doing your Rankin Bass? Are we doing Hallmark? I mean, I'm a sucker for anything Rankin
Okay, so
Bass.
talking about Hallmark, I've been kind of disappointed because I'm watching the same ones again and again. Like every other day, they've got the same ones on. I don't get that.
Yeah, I think, you know, they do that countdown to Christmas, you know, like I think they started in October. I think, you know, my mom, she has the Hallmark channel, and I think they started in like October doing the movies. So
Well,
I
they
don't know if they're
did.
just running out,
They did.
like just constantly cycling through,
They did,
maybe.
but they also said there was going to be 25 new ones. And all I'm
Yes.
saying is like I keep it on. I'm not home that much, but
Mhm,
when I'm home and finally in bed, I keep it on. That's
mhm.
what I have on. And maybe 4 hours. I mean, like I might wake up or something and it's still on, but it's a movie that I've seen a couple days before.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how they work the new movies into the rotation. I know that they're having movies every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, new ones.
The new
I
ones are
think it's
Friday,
through
Saturday,
Christmas.
Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure what time, but I know that that's when their new ones are. So how that fits into their rotation, I'm not sure. I don't really have a, a lot of the Hallmark Christmas movies. Like I do, my favorite one is Christmas and Evergreen. I think I've told you that before. I do love that one. The whole family loves that one. I can get everyone to sit down and actually watch that one.
You can.
Yeah, and and I can, but I'm finding I'm watching Netflix more
Right.
in the Christmas movie department than I am on Hallmark. But so I mean, we can maybe pick something out of there, or like I said, pick a classic. I mean, there's so many good options.
Well, what? Top ranked Christmas movies to binge watch.
Oh, okay. What's I'm intrigued. What's the top one?
Well, I'm gonna get there. It says to key up the best Netflix Christmas movies first, stream Amazon Prime Christmas movies,
I haven't looked on there.
and then check lineup of Hallmark Christmas movies and Hallmark Christmas movie bingo.
Oh, I wonder if they have like a, like catch this movie this time and you can put a mark on it like when you're playing bingo.
So the best one that everybody voted on, I'm sure you could guess this.
I don't know.
Usually
It's a Wonderful Life.
People, yep. Usually most people actually watch that on Christmas Day.
I have a confession. I did not see that movie. I just watched it for the first time 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I love Christmas movies. I don't know what it was. I just never ended up watching it. And I finally did. And now I own the VHS and the DVD and a digital copy. Because that's another one where it just throws in life lessons that you learn and the things that happen in your life that need to happen. Maybe that's a good one to watch. I mean, everybody seems to enjoy it, but it also, you see life struggles in that movie.
Right. So I think that should be our next movie that we do it's a good one. It's got a lot of things in it. Number 2 is A Christmas Story.
Oh yeah. See, you either love it or you hate it. I love it.
Yeah. And this one I didn't like, but it's A Christmas Carol.
I love that one. Well, now it depends on which one. They've had
this was made in 1951, the original.
With Alistair Sims.
Yep.
Because I actually think, maybe I'm wrong, I think there was one in the 30s that was done. I think. Because if you're going to watch one, I think you got to watch the one with Alistair Sims. Let me look up real quick here. For some reason, I thought
it says the 1951 interaction of the Charles Dickens classic is probably the most iconic of the versions.
Yes. So there was one made in 1938.
Okay.
I thought there was. And it's Ebenezer Scrooge is played by Reginald Owens. I'm not sure who these people are, but Bob Cratchit is Gene Lockhart, and Jacob Marley is Leo G. Carroll. I'll watch anything in black and white, so I will check that one out. But the Alistair Sims, he's like the godfather of Ebenezer Scrooge's. I feel like he's good in it, and I personally love that movie.
The next one, I don't like it either. It's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
That's my favorite.
I don't
all-time Christmas.
Grinch he's yucky.
I don't. Well, are you talking Boris Karloff
I'm just
Grinch, or are you talking like Jim Carrey Grinch?
I'm just talking about the Grinch that's so mean. And
I know. You know what? He's my favorite.
Gross.
I actually have. There's a stuffed Grinch back here somewhere. That's my favorite. But I'm hands down 100% in love with the Boris Karloff, where he's narrating.
See, I'm not opening them up to see, but this was made in 1966.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not, I'm okay with the Jim Carrey one. The new one, it presents a whole new, what was it? It was Benedict Cumberbatch who did the Grinch. And what was it, 2018? 19?
I think 19.
But it brings a whole new modern perspective to it. Cindy Lou, who's a single mom with two twin brothers, and she's just like this independent, like, I'm gonna go do this. And I don't know, I think my kids like it.
Okay, so if we do that one, if we talk about that one, I actually played Cindy Lou Who in
did you really?
play, and I have the shirt that says Cindy Lou Who.
I'm thinking I need to see pictures of that because I want to see you dressed up like a who.
Okay, so this is one of my favorites, and it's number 5, but it's Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
So I'm surprised that it's number 5. I would have seen it right under the This Is a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But that's number 5. You know what? I need to watch this one again because I don't remember how this one goes. But this was the Santa Claus.
I just watched that day before yesterday with Tim Allen.
With Tim Allen, yeah. Is it good?
It is good. I love it. And that is one set of movies because there's 3 of them. I actually enjoyed the second and the third ones just as much as the first. What did you watch it on? I have the DVD.
You have DVDs.
I can't help myself. I collect Christmas movies. I love them, and I have to have them all together so that I know where they are at all times. And eventually I'll get around to purchasing them digitally, but for now, that would just be a whole lot of money I can't spend to get them all at once. So I'll buy here and there, but it's my DVDs, and I can just send that over. I can bring that over to you.
Okay.
I love it. It's a great movie.
Okay. So this one I've never heard of either. Gosh, I need to look these back up so I can go watching them. Love Actually.
That's a great one.
Is it?
I have that. I have the DVD too.
Who is that? It looks like one of the guys that played in Friends. Is it not?
It's Colin Firth.
Okay.
It's Keira Knightley. Who's the other guy? He played in Die Hard as it's the bad guy. Give me a minute. And he's in the Harry Potter movies now, but I can't think of his name. He's in there. It'll come to me.
I can't click on it and get anything.
Yeah. But that's a good one because it shows a bunch of these different families, and they're, Hugh Grant. He's the prime minister. Yeah. So you see all these different storylines of all these different people. And that is another one that's got a really good ending too. I will bring that to you. A lot of people don't, I even think, realize that it's a holiday movie. It's good. My husband introduced me to it, and I fought him because I was like, I'm not going to like this. And I finally broke down and watched it. And then when the movie store was going out of business here in town, I went and grabbed it. So I'm like, we're always trying to find it on social or on the streaming services, and we had a hard time doing it. So I'm like, yep, it's $1. It's coming home with me.
There you go. Not heard of this one either. I feel like I've always watched Hallmark.
Yeah.
That was just my
the ones too. Right.
Well, Lifetime they used to have a lot of Christmas movies. It's changed so much. Like Lifetime used to be the women's channel. Oh, guys wouldn't even sit down and watch it. And it's nothing like that anymore. It's still good. They have good movies in there, but it's not based on just women's stuff.
Okay. See, I think I maybe only seen like 1 or 2 movies that were Lifetime movies, but I just, the app, the cable app or whatever you want to call it, that I'm subscribing to, it's the FRDNLY or whatever. They just added Lifetime and Lifetime Movie Network. And I was like, I didn't even know that was still around.
And, they've just changed it completely. So it's basically, it's still drama, but there's everything. There's every genre. So,
well, that's cool.
So there's more men watching it now, and I think that's why they changed it up.
Yeah,
because it was known as a woman's movie.
I remember hearing that. Yeah. When I was
okay, so this one I've never heard of either. I feel like I've missed out on a lot. I'll be surprised if you know this one. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I have that DVD.
Oh my
Have you?
gosh.
I know you have not ever heard of Clark Griswold.
Well, I know who Clark Griswold is. And
That's
he
National
played
Lampoons.
Chevy Chase, right?
Chevy Chase plays him. That's National Lampoons. So it's got Beverly D'Angelo, Chevy Chase, and it's got a young he played Leonard in a Big Bang Theory. I am not doing good with the names. It's got Juliette Lewis.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah, and I can't remember his name now. Johnny.
I can't look up for you. I'll lose all my.
Yeah, hold on. Let me Johnny something. That movie. Oh my gosh, it's another one. You either love it or you hate it.
Okay, so
it's funny.
It says everything goes horribly and hilariously wrong.
It really does. Randy Quaid is in it. He plays Cousin Eddie. If you've ever seen any of the National Lampoon's movies, you know that he's right. Played Cousin Eddie this whole time. Hold on, let me see here. Johnny Galecki. That's who it is. So he plays Russ, the son. Oh yeah, I mean Clark Griswold is kind of similar to Del Griffith's character, where he's this goofy, lovable yet irritating at times, person, but he's a family man, and all he wants is for his whole family to be together for Christmas. And the whole main part of the story is not only just giving his family a good Christmas, but he's waiting for his Christmas bonus check from his company, and he works for this company. Bill Murray's brother plays Frank. No, I don't think that's right. But one of the Murray brothers plays the boss, and you find out that he's canceling the Christmas bonuses. So Clark's character is gonna bounce this check for this swimming pool that he's wanting to put in for his family in the spring. And it's just one craziness after another. And the Christmas tree gets set on fire and the turkey gets overcooked. And I mean, if you like funny movies and you like Chevy Chase, you're gonna love this movie. I'm gonna bring that one to you too, because that is a much watch.
Where do you think
I'm gonna load your weekend up? Yeah, well, your week is gonna be full. I'm gonna bring it over all the movies.
Okay, number 10 is Home Alone.
Oh yeah,
which probably everybody's watched Home Alone.
Oh yeah, my kids, like, they will watch that daily if I let them. They love the whole idea behind it. Of course, seeing the two robbers get what for from Kevin is always hilarious too. And the Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, I thought that was equally as good as the first one too. I loved that one too.
I loved it. Wasn't there 3? Yeah.
I haven't seen anything after 2 though. I'm kind of impartial. I like Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, but you'd like
so when he was done. Yeah, I might have to check it out. But I think there's one also called like Home Alone, like Snow Day or something like that too. But they did a on Netflix, I think it is. They did like a Home Sweet Home Alone or something, but it's an updated version. And we watched that the other day. It was pretty good. It brought in Buzz, the older brother character.
Oh, okay.
Police officer in there. And the security system in the movie is the what's the family's last name? McAllister. They have like McAllister security systems. And so you don't see Macaulay Culkin in the movie, but there's made reference to Kevin owning this thing. Yeah. But you do see Buzz's character in there, and he's just as obnoxious as he is in the in the first 2. And the kids liked it. I mean, like I said, I'm a diehard Home Alone original fan, but that's the one I think the whole family can
absolutely. The first one was the best.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I'm sure everybody's heard of. You've Got Mail. I've
never seen that.
You got to see it.
I have not. I know who's in it. It's Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've never seen it. That's one I'll have to check out. I did not even know it was a holiday movie.
Yep. It is. Okay, so number 12. I guess I didn't realize this was a holiday movie. Bridget Jones' Diary.
That's one I haven't seen either, but I do know it's Renee Zellweger and is it Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
And Bridget Jones is what actually got her famous, Renee Zellweger.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually in her very first movie that she was ever in.
I told me about that.
And it bombed. It bombed.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't my fault though, I promise.
Usually they put all that on the stars of the movie.
I actually thought this storyline was kind of stupid.
What was the name of it again? I think you told me.
It's called The Bachelor.
Oh. Okay.
And Chris Robinson was who played The Bachelor. And do you know who Chris Robinson is?
I do not, but I'm better with faces, so.
Okay. Well, you know everybody's name. I can't believe you don't know that.
I know. I don't know.
Well,
I'd have to look him up.
He played Robin in all the Batman movies.
Oh,
It's Chris
what?
Robinson.
Oh, Chris. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I knew you.
I didn't realize.
I mean, I'm not a big Batman fan, but I had boys. They watched Batman. So.
Well, I kind of feel like there's just only one and one only Batman, and that's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
But but that's what I was first introduced to. Some people will argue and say Adam West is. So.
So what they say is, since much of this movie takes place during Christmas time, we think Bridget Jones is the ideal holiday companion, just the way she is.
Okay, so then that brings up what always seems to be a divided topic during Christmas is if that movie is during Christmas time, so they consider it a Christmas movie, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Right.
Which, I think it is. My husband thinks it is, but we played that last night just to kind of be like, hey, Christmas tree's up. We're watching the controversial, is it or is it not Christmas movie?
And what was your conclusions?
Oh, it's a Christmas movie. I mean, he sits the guy in the chair, wraps him with Christmas lights, and sends him down the elevator. I mean, there's Christmas trees everywhere in there.
Yeah,
it's Christmas, just not maybe your Silent Night type of Christmas thing.
You know what I missed in there, which isn't one of my favorite ones either, but the Elf.
Oh yeah, I like that one. It's not my ultimate favorite.
It's not my favorite, no.
Yeah, but I do like it. I like the whole idea.
That was William Ferrell, right?
Will Ferrell, yeah. And Mary Steenburgen, James Caan, because he plays the dad.
Okay, I bet you this one you've not watched.
Okay.
If you have, I'm taking you to lunch. No lying either.
Okay, no, I promise I won't. You'll be able to tell by my face.
Okay.
Be like,
Okay. The Year Without a Santa Claus.
I have not seen that, but I believe that is a Rankin Bass film. I believe.
Yep.
Because it's got, is that the one with the misers in it? The heat miser and the cold miser, or winter miser, something like that? Or is that Santa Claus is coming to town?
Okay, so it's up to Mrs. Claus and Santa's elves to save Christmas when Santa decides to skip delivering presents for a year. That's what it's about.
That is one I haven't seen. Like I said, I believe it's a Rankin Bass film, so that kind of surprises me.
It is a Rankin Bass.
Yes, because my husband, I drive him nuts every year because I go on a Rankin Bass binge. I've got Jack Frost on DVD.
Well, maybe we should get somebody from Rankin Bass to come on and give us a list of movies for us to review.
Oh yeah, that'd be great if you contact them, because I actually just joined a Facebook group, like a fan group for that, because they were posting all the like the Rudolph and Frosty and Santa Claus coming to town. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, this one I haven't heard of. Man, I feel bad. Like I
feel bad.
I do.
There's just a lot out there,
and them all. And
well, I have kids.
You know what that shows? You have more time to watch TV.
Oh, I know, right? Well, I became a stay-at-home mom when I had my youngest 8 years ago. So, but a lot of the stuff I'd see when I was a kid too, my grandparents used to record onto VHS all the time. So, we had the Grinch on VHS. We had Frosty, we had Rudolph, with all the good 80s and early 90s commercials in there.
We came from such a big family that I think I told you before that my mom had 15 brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. And we have a lot of cousins. And actually, one of my best friends is a cousin. but we were a close family. Like that's who we all hung out with, was
Mhm.
mom with her brothers and sisters and the kids. And every one of us had a cousin that was our age, or three
Cousins
or
are the
four or
best.
five. And
Yeah.
so, not that you always get along with every one of them, but my
Right.
closest friendships are with my cousins. Anyway, we always got together on every holiday.
Mhm.
Um, and it wasn't movie watching. We played a lot of games,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of games. So,
Yeah. We liked sitting downstairs in my grandparents' basement in front of the fireplace
but
with
you
the
didn't,
Christmas tree in the corner. And
didn't have 40 people.
nope, it was literally, my aunt and uncle, my cousin, he's not a lot older than me, but he was older. And so it was just really my two siblings and I, and my mom and dad and my grandparents. I was okay with that. But they recorded a lot of stuff, so I continued that on into like I said, I still have a VHS player. And
Okay.
I watch my VHSs.
All right. We have a VHS DVD player that we have
Oh yeah.
stored just because we have all of our family reunions that were
Yes.
on VHS. And so, we want to be able to go back, and play them. So,
Oh yeah.
so it's stored. It's not set up, but it's stored for when we get it out and plug it in and
Yeah.
watch them.
Mine's in the dining room right now.
Is it?
I got the It's a Wonderful Life VHS just waiting there to be opened and played because I found it at a garage sale over the summer.
Yeah. And then we have a lot of so I did a lot of commercials when I was younger. And
Okay.
then when I was an extra in that movie that we were talking about, The Bachelor, we didn't
Hmm.
finish, but it was not a big deal at all. Okay. It was just a side person. So it
Okay.
wasn't a big deal. It was a big deal that I spent 3 months in San Francisco, 13 hours a day filming this
Well,
thing.
yeah. I mean, you're
That
an
was a
actor
big
in a
deal. That was
movie.
hard. That
Oh, I
convinced
bet.
me that I never wanted to be an actor. But one of the things that I asked the director not to do was to like send anything out to my hometown.
Oh.
And I got a surprise after I got back, and all of a sudden I get this phone call from WMBD saying that my name was sent in from the director of the film, and it was coming up the premiere in
Mhm.
2 weeks, and they wanted to interview me, and they also had a surprise for me when I got there. So I was on, like, how on the news they might have a 2 to 3 minute clip of,
Mhm.
and that's about it. 20 minutes they talked to me.
Oh.
20 minutes. And I mean, they asked me about the whole movie and everything, and then they brought out the dress I actually wore and
Oh
said,
wow.
so on the premiere, we want you at the movie theater, and we're going to have a drawing, and you're going to give out the wedding dress that you wore. That was all
Surprise.
shock to me.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I didn't want it mentioned is because I didn't, first of all, like I said, it wasn't a big part or anything like that. I do have, pictures and a big poster and, all that.
Well, as you should. I mean, you were in the movie. It's a memory.
I have all that, but I didn't have a speaking part. I think I said one line ever, but I was in it a lot. So
Okay.
anyway, of course I could tell about the whole movie, when they asked. But just the 3 months and in San Francisco, and it was in the winter and it was raining every day, and I had to run up and down the hills of San Francisco in barefoot in a wedding dress, soaking wet, freezing cold, and you'd have to do it over and over again because you just couldn't get the scenes right. And
It's not always the glitz and glam. There's
it's
hard work that goes into
absolutely
that.
not.
Yeah.
So anyway, Noel.
I have never heard of that one.
Okay, so it says that's a convex production.
Hmm.
I know Penelope Cruz.
Oh yeah.
So she's in it, and Paul Walker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've
It just
never
says
heard of
5
it.
strangers become linked on Christmas Eve in New York City by a series of events. So that's number 14. I better just zoom through it. Oh, wow. This is old, and I remember this, and I liked him. I'm not into cartoons.
Oh,
I like the real thing.
uh-huh.
That's just a pet peeve I've had. So like growing up, whenever my kids would watch animated movies, go for it, but I wasn't interested. The first one that I ever watched, my daughter like went over and over and over again with me that I had to see it, was The Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
And I loved it.
Oh, it's a good. I like Disney, but that was one of their better ones.
Yeah. And then the second was The Lion King. So,
Oh yeah.
and The Lion King, I didn't feel like was even a kid's movie.
There
Like I
was
thought
a
it
very,
deep.
very
It
deep
was deep.
movie.
Yeah.
Very emotional. Is emotion driven. Like that beginning scene, that makes me cry every time. There's
Yeah.
nothing bad about it. It just is like it's powerful. It's a very powerful movie.
I couldn't see like how a 5-year-old could really understand a movie like that.
Right. Yeah.
Really, to me, that was more of an adult animated movie. But anyway, Little Mermaid, and she picked that because I love any movie that has singing in it.
Oh yeah.
So she knew that if I heard the singing right away. But anyway, so number 15 is Mr. Magoo's Christmas.
I've never seen that. I know who Mr. Magoo is, but I've never seen it.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I
But
should have
I know, right? So, but seriously, if there's a cartoon of any type on that's holiday, or like if when my kids watch Scooby Doo, I'm right there with
Okay, I
popcorn.
did like Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, but it's got to be the earlier stuff.
Who did not like Scooby-Doo?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Rise of the Guardians?
I feel like I may have seen that.
That looks
It
like,
has like all the holiday
see if you can see.
digs. Yeah, so isn't it like like your Christmas and like your Valentine's Day? Does that have all like the different
Yes,
holiday
it's got like
Yeah.
Jack Frost joined Santa Claus with the Easter Bunny
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah. I feel like I maybe have seen tidbits of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing, and I couldn't tell you anything about it. I don't remember it, but I do remember that I think it took all the guardians of each holiday and they band together and do their thing.
Now, see, I feel like this one that you watch these kind of movies, this next one, but maybe not. The Chronicles of Narnia.
I have not seen any of those. I think my Ella has, I think, but I have not seen any of them.
So that type of movie, because the girl that's in it looks like the one that was in the hunting game.
Oh, the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
That would be Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know. It may be. I'm not sure. Isn't it a little
how
blonde?
close you can see it, but it looks like her.
Yeah, it might be. I can't see it too clearly from there, but yeah,
it's snowing, but it looks like her. Unfortunately, I can't it was a Disney movie.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's one I haven't seen. I'm surprised we haven't
this
come across.
one, and I did watch this one, but again, I had to be convinced, and it's a musical, Frozen.
Oh yeah, my youngest went crazy
over
Frozen. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if it was at the time it came out or if it was kind of after the fact, but all I know is that from head to toe and from wall to wall in her bedroom, there was something Frozen. I couldn't get away from it. Now, I think it's a very good movie, but it's a movie I can only have in moderation. And by that, I mean like maybe twice a year.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is very good.
Okay. Well, this one is really old, and it's called Prancer.
Oh, that's a good one. That's got Sam Elliott in it.
It does have Sam Elliott in it.
Yes. Which is a very good looking man in my book.
Yes.
Yeah, me. Yeah, that's I may have bought that one from the movie store when they were going out of business too. So I think I have that around here somewhere too.
Okay, well, let's see if you've seen this one. So I'm just going to say who's in it, and you see if you can name it.
Okay.
Okay. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Is it the Christmas Chronicle?
Yes.
We just watched both of those. Have you seen them?
Yes.
I love the first one the most, but I very much enjoyed seeing Goldie Hawn, Mrs. Claus, take on a bigger role in the second one. They're great. Netflix did a great job with those movies.
How did I know that you would know that one?
Well, the kids even asked to watch it. Normally, I have to like really beg them to watch a movie, but no, my youngest Jennifer, she's like, I want to watch the second one. I'm like, all right. I was like, but don't you want to watch the first one first? She's like, no, we'll watch the second one, then watch the first one. I was like, it's fine with me. I like them both. Like, let's go get the popcorn.
Okay, so moving right along because we're running out of time here. But Serendipity,
I have not seen that one.
I remember seeing it and didn't feel like as much as a Christmas movie, but I think it's just because it takes place during the Christmas thing, but it's a romantic Christmas movie. It doesn't even say who's in it, but it was in 2001.
Oh, that was the year I graduated from high school, and that was kind of where I was still very combative against romance movies.
Oh,
so that's probably why I didn't see it. Christmas movie or not.
Okay, let's try another one. I'm going to give a name.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I'll be home for Christmas. That was one
scoring like 100. Okay, right? I'm not going to go through every one of them. I'm just going to start naming people and see if you can guess the movie.
Okay.
This is like totally taking a switch here. Like,
I know, right?
Did you ever see Name That Tune?
No, I mean, I think I maybe have seen like on like the Game Show Network, like reruns of it, but
oh my gosh. Now that I can do. Name the tune, you can start it. I know music. Ask me who did the music. I don't remember.
Oh, really?
I don't remember names.
See, I
remember names of a movie or I mean of a song, but not always who sang it. Just like now, you're really good at movies and the actors' names, remembering those. So is my husband. Like, it doesn't matter how old the movie is or what genre it's in or genre. He knows them, just like you do. That's crazy. And I'm like, well, okay, for one, he watches a lot of TV too. So you know who does all the work at home. I don't get time.
I throw in my earbuds, and most times I'll just listen. The job I had right out of high school was working for the Postal Service.
Oh, really?
And up in the town just north of here. And what they would do, you'd have like long 12-hour shifts. You'd put on headphones and they would play movies. So I literally just got in the habit of listening to movies more than watching. What happened?
Well, I tried to press it and then so it went all the way back to the beginning.
I've had that happen before.
I hate that.
Not a good scrolling screen.
Number I was on.
Well, the last one you told me about was what, Serendipity, right?
Well, you guessed the Christmas
like 19
Chronicles.
Oh, yeah. Then Jonathan,
I'll be home for Christmas. Serendipity. I'll be home for Christmas. I'm getting close. I skipped this one because it doesn't matter. It's just Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
Oh yeah, see now I like Mickey's Christmas Carol.
And then the Grinch. There's the Grinch.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Charlie Brown's Christmas.
I know.
I would have thought that would have been top 10.
Now the Princess Switch. I just saw that the other night.
Have you seen the second one?
Yes.
Yeah. Jennifer and I just watched the second one last night. That's a good one. And The Night Before Christmas, same girl plays it. It's Vanessa Hudgens, I think. That's a good one too.
Okay. We're doing the name thing.
Okay.
It's a 1994 film and it's based on Louise May Alcott.
Little Women.
Her novel. Yep.
It's my favorite book. I have probably like 3 copies of that book.
I need a copy. I used to have.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I'll bring you one because anytime I see it at the library, I just buy it. I don't need it, but it's just if I can find an older version than what I have, I'll pick it up. But I got one of those little illustrated books when I was probably like 9 years old, and I colored all the pictures in there, and I read that thing till it fell apart. I just loved it.
Okay. I will bet you lunch on this one.
Okay.
There's not names. So I
Okay.
just have to tell you a little bit about it.
Okay.
Okay, so this holiday film featuring all kinds of little childhood characters, including Little Bo Peep, the Three Little Pigs, and yes, Santa Claus, is a classic as it airs around Christmas every year.
Oh.
It's a classic. 1934.
Oh. Boy. That one's gonna be
I've
hard.
not seen it.
Little Bo Peep. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one.
It's called Babes in Toyland.
Oh,
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. But I couldn't even tell, I couldn't tell you what it's about. It's just kind of one of those.
What? Guess what just came up?
What?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Why
For
is that
holiday?
a Christmas movie?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because like it's snowy. Maybe is this a holiday list or is it a Christmas list? Do they
But
call
it's
it
a
a holiday?
Thanksgiving. This is a Christmas, the top Christmas movies.
I don't know. It's set around Thanksgiving time, and I really don't think you see any Christmas decorations. I don't know.
That
But
is so
there's our
weird.
movie.
That is so weird.
That's awesome that it's getting love though. I'm excited to see it all there.
Okay, another one that is not showing the name. They look familiar to me, but a shoplifter and her prosecutor are able to find love together thanks to the magic of the Christmas season. It's very old too. It's a black and white.
Shoplifter and
Shoplifter and her prosecutor, so the attorney that was prosecuting her, are able to find love together thanks to the magic of the Christmas season. What if I show you a picture?
Yeah, let's see a picture. I don't know. I don't know what that is. And here's the buzzer.
Remember the Night.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of that one.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Okay. Now, I don't know why this is down the line so many, but I absolutely love her, period, but I love her Christmas movies. She always does a Christmas classic every year.
Okay.
She's a singer, a Nashville singer.
Carrie Underwood.
No, older. Like
Reba?
she was really, really country. Really.
Reba? Is it Reba?
I love Reba, and Reba has done a couple songs with her, but no. She does the Christmas special every single year, and it's at her home. It's all real. Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah, my grandfather loved her music. She is a really good person too.
She is a great person, but she still has every year Dolly Parton's Christmas.
That's awesome.
Home for Christmas, and they just have the neatest family.
How have we not seen White Christmas on this list yet?
I don't know, because this next one, like, I don't even know why I'd call it. It's got Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine in it.
I don't know what the movie
1960.
I don't know.
Honey, you're going downhill here.
I know.
You're probably
losing
tired.
steam.
Your brain is probably fried. It's called The Apartment.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah,
either.
me either. 1960. We're almost done. This one, it's got Eddie Murphy in it.
Okay.
It stars Dan Aykroyd.
Trading Places.
Yep, you got
it.
it.
Yeah, I love Dan Aykroyd's another favorite of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else is he in?
Oh, he's in Ghostbusters. He's in Blues Brothers. Let's see what else is he in? I think did he make a new? Oh, yeah, he's in. He makes an appearance in Casper. If you've seen Casper, yeah. Well, at the beginning, they find out that the house that this lady inherits or whatever is haunted. So you see it, you hear the craziness going on there, and he runs out in his Ghostbusters uniform, and he's like, "Who are you gonna call?" And he's like, "Someone else," and he takes off.
That's funny.
He's like, "Nope, not for me." Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, this is the last one. So I'm gonna give you the stars' names. I'm not sure that you'll know this, but I'm not gonna bet you because you're pretty good. Ed Asner and Maureen Stapleton.
Okay. I saw an Ed Asner Christmas movie last year.
Okay.
Is it Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus?
Nope.
Okay.
So it's centered on forgiveness and family. That's the only hint you're getting.
Okay, because I feel like there was another one that I saw him in, but was that the Yes? I don't know.
I don't even think you were born when this was made. So it's The Gathering.
Oh, yeah, no. But if you have a chance to watch Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus, that's a very good one too. And I believe that Asner is like.
Okay, I don't even want to talk about this one. It's the last.
Oh, now you got to tell me what it. You got to tell me what it is now. And now I got to know.
It's okay. I'm just gonna. It's made by Mattel.
Okay, so is it a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
But who's Mattel's favorite character?
Well, Barbie.
Right.
So it's like a Barbie Christmas thing.
Barbie and the Nutcracker.
Oh yeah, how are we not seeing White Christmas when we got Barbie and the Nutcracker?
I know.
You got to wonder when. Well, it's intriguing to see when this list was made. Obviously, it's more recent, and what kind of people they interviewed as well, because you get, of course, into the older generations, and you're going to have your Christmas classics. You have someone like me who, I'll sit down and watch a 1930s black and white movie over anything new coming out any day of the week. But you don't have many people my age who do that.
Okay,
so
here's a black and white one. It's a classic romantic comedy. It's inspired 2 remakes, In the Good Old Summertime and You've Got Mail.
Yeah, I've seen neither of those.
You haven't seen You've Got Mail?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got to see that. That's not a Christmas movie, but it's cool.
Yeah.
All right. This is called The Shop Around the Corner.
That might be one to check out.
It's
like I said, I love.
It does not say the people in it, just the ones that the remakes of. So, and the last one, Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it.
Jingle All the Way.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that when I was a kid, and that his poor character, what he goes through to get that toy for his kid is like, you liken it to the Cabbage Patch craze and the Beanie Baby craze and the Tickle Me Elmo craze. It's just, it's his father's journey to try to get this toy for his kid for Christmas, and he strikes out, and it's funny. It's a good one.
Okay, so we are going to watch a Christmas movie sometime this week. Which one is it going to be?
I think we should go with a classic that everybody likes, because like I said, it incorporates your life struggles into it. It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay. That's
because there's there's a lot of, a lot of topics that are touched on in that. Yeah.
That's what we're going to do then.
Yay.
Okay.
Kick off the holiday season with the great one.
Yeah.
And it's black and white.
Now, do you have that one? Do you have that one on a DVD?
I know I got the VHS. I think I have it on DVD. I'll have to look. Like I said, I've got like loads of DVDs that are just, I keep out my Christmas, and I know
I can find it on any of the streaming ones.
Yeah, I think I did buy the DVD. I think that's how I first watched it. But yeah, I'll go look. But yeah, I keep them all out.
Well, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm sure I can find it on any of the stations. So.
Oh yeah, I would think so this time of year.
But because it is what it is, I'll probably have to rent it.
Just make sure you watch it at the allotted time that they allow you to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's been
You're
fun.
welcome. Yes, it
And
has. Thank you for having me.
yep. And we will see you soon.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye.